I'm a professor in the Department of Theater. My name is Derek McNish, and this is THR402 Acting with Accents. These students are here because they want tools for their future acting careers. But the course also addresses MSU's undergraduate learning goals and becomes an opportunity to sharpen analytical and research skills and to study culture by performing it. This course embraces the principles of universal design to enhance accessibility and uses technology to enable these students to become essential participants in a global community of artists and scholars. Each student in the class collected, analyzed, edited, and published dialect samples that are now part of an online resource called the International Dialects of English Archive. Students in this course learn a process to identify, analyze, incorporate, and embody idiolects, which means language and speech patterns unique to individual characters. There is no textbook. Everything we need exists online in digital archives that we help to expand and diversify. The first step in this process is to teach students how to use the International Phonetic Alphabet. I use a combination of techniques. I first introduce IPA using phonetic pillows, three-dimensional representations of symbols that have color and texture, which were constructed by our department's costume shop. These games give visual and tactile learners a way into this work. Students master the many technological resources available for actors studying dialects. In order to deepen cultural understanding through the study of accents and dialects, students go directly to individual subjects to collect samples and explore the relationship between dialect and culture. To share this work, they publish digital dialect samples that add to a growing international archive. Technology allows these students to avoid being merely consumers of knowledge, but to be creators and contributors. Many of my students selected speakers that added much-needed diversity to the archive. Interviews included speakers from Sichuan, China, Puerto Rico, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Liaoning, China, and migrant farm workers from the United States. Many of these connections came by partnering with Michigan State University's English Language Center. Dialect students interviewed and collected samples from international students. As part of this process, we used technology such as the Blue Yeti USB microphone and their own smartphones in conjunction with editing software Audacity. This year, I chose European Spanish as a first step to introduce the voice donor process. Javier Bardem was our first subject. In class, we captured audio from the interview, edited, transcribed the text, and then listened to it on a loop as we analyzed, embodied, and then performed the speech. Some students require concrete physiological imagery in order to reproduce a dialect. For that, I used the pink trombone, which allows students to manipulate digital articulators while the program's speech synthesis responds. Here, students can move the tongue, lips, soft palate, throat, and larynx as the program simulates sound. The Visual Accent Dialect Archive allows students to not only hear an accent, but to see the speaker's oral and tracheal posture. Students are also trained to use Dynamic Dialects, an online resource that breaks down distinct sounds by region using samples from native speakers. Students in this class submit work via SoundCloud, which preps them for industry voiceover standard practices. Another useful online resource is Radio Garden, a program that live streams local radio from around the globe. If we wanted to hear speakers from any specific area but couldn't find recordings, we could tune into local news or talk radio broadcasts. Students master more digital resources than we have time to present here. I believe that technology helps to turn them into culturally conscious global citizens that are equipped to meet the ever-changing demands of their future artistic careers.